everybody, and welcome to this special on the transiting sun in Gemini. So this year, the sun goes into Gemini on the 14th of June at 6:58 p.m. and stays there until the 16th of July when the sun enters Cancer. So Gemini is represented by the twins, Costa and Pollux, and this energy is associated with duality. A lot of people say that Geminis are two-faced, there's two twins and two sides. Communication, adaptability, and intellectual curiosity are the key notes of this energy. Gemini is ruled by Mercury and is known for its quick thinking and intelligence, wit and ability to navigate various situations effortlessly. So yeah, when the sun's in Gemini, it can make our minds more agile, flexible, and we're able to grasp new concepts more quickly and excelling tasks that require mental flexibility. So yeah, because of this, we can have, as I said, more of a natural curiosity and thirst for knowledge and experience, which kind of pushes us to adapt to different circumstances and thrive in, other environments that we're not typically used to. So different friendship groups, different events, So it's a good energy to put yourself out there and to do things that you normally are more scared or shy or resistant to doing, And so practically, because we find ourselves more inclined to engaging in conversation, exchanging ideas and connecting with others, Gemini's natural gift for communication is really amplified, increased during this transit. So it just helps us to build new relationships, both personally and professionally. So networking events, social gatherings and business meetings can, give us positive results during this phase, as people are more open to building connections and working on projects with others. So yeah, it's a practical time to expand your network, broaden your horizons, your values, your beliefs, seek out new opportunities for development. So yeah, all in all, effective communication skills, being able to adapt to different social settings can be really valuable assets during this time, and Sun in Gemini provides us with all the energy to do what we need to do. So we just need to practically apply ourselves to do this, and if we do this, we can make more meaningful connections and just broaden our world right now. In terms of the worldly materialistic meanings, it's a good energy to engage in expanding our intellectual kind of outlook, whether it's through reading books, attending educational events, listening to podcasts, going within yourself, thinking, reflecting and writing things down. The emphasis is on gathering information from diverse sources, as many sources as you can, using critical thinking, not being afraid, even though it can be scary, to listen to people's opinions that you don't agree with. But this is how we grow, this is how we get out of our comfort zone and start to realise that, hey, maybe if we was born in a different family and culture and maybe religion for some of you than the ones we may think differently too, and just understanding that a lot of the time we other people and see them as different, but we all have a lot in common as human beings if we're willing to open up our mindset and our heart to different perspectives. And this can really increase our intellectual capabilities. So all in all, on a worldly materialistic level, it's a good time to dig into new subjects that not only stimulate your mind but help you develop a more well-rounded understanding of the practical aspects of the world and yourself and the people in the world. In terms of politically, it encourages leaders to engage in effective conversation and find common ground to resolve conflicts and reach agreements. It emphasises the need for open-mindedness, flexibility, and the ability to listen to diverse perspectives in order to create understanding and cooperation within, the same political parties and different political parties and in our communities. And it encourages leaders to seek diplomatic solutions rather than resorting to confrontation or aggression. The Sun in Gemini, when it transits here, highlights the power of effective communication and the ability to negotiate in order to achieve political stability and progress. So instead of, using our physical force, it's a key time to use intellectual force in terms of politics, or, any types of boards and school boards, or any kind of, politic-induced thinking may be involved in as well. And diplomacy and compromise are key strategies to navigate, the complex landscapes of politics, legal, community, whatever you're involved in right now. And it promotes harmony among nations, among families, communities, colleagues, people in the same industries as you, and also within our political systems as well. On the spiritual-esoteric level, it wants us to explore different aspects of our personality and consciousness. It pushes us to understand and reflect on the dualities present within ourselves, the light and shadow, the conscious and unconscious, our weaknesses and strengths. And our weaknesses are only weaknesses because we numb ourselves and run away from the truth, from the pain. But when we, confront our shadow by shining a light on it, we can create a deeper understanding of our inner workings and embrace, being more open-minded, and knowing that because sometimes we don't accept differences in other people because we think we're just one thing. We say, oh, I'm someone, I only listen to this music, I only watch this type of show, I only hang out with this type of people, and this is what makes us just have a single focus and causes all the problems in the world. As far as I can see, it's the fact that we won't embrace other people's differences and we don't take the time out to understand others. But I believe it's because we are not programmed to take enough time into ourselves, and not in an egotistical, conceited way. And I know I'm dealing with sun energy here, but in a way that just allows us to be more curious about the deeper meanings in life and curious about the different aspects of our personality and consciousness. And developing this mindset allows us to explore various belief systems, philosophies and spiritual practices that we may not have done, but by doing so we can expand the understanding of the world and our own spiritual journey. And open-mindedness enables us to approach, life with a sense of curiosity and a willingness to explore beyond our comfort zones. It encourages us to question, learn and integrate diverse perspectives and teachings into our own spiritual practices, and to just embrace the different aspects of ourselves. Psychologically, it highlights the importance of communication and how important it is to be versatile, to change, to be open to newness in how we express ourselves and interact with others. It can bring attention to our thought processes and how we process information. When it comes to our psychological well-being, expressing our thoughts and feelings can play a crucial role in maintaining emotional balance and creating healthy relationships right now. And the ability to communicate our emotions and thoughts allows us to be understood, validated and supported by others. And it serves as an outlet for just letting out pent-up emotions, reducing stress and promoting mental clarity and overall physical, emotional, spiritual, financial well-being, as well as giving us mental clarity, as I said. And it wants us to express our thoughts and feelings, to build our self-awareness and self-reflection by, reflecting on our personal experiences and inner states. And through open and honest expression, we can develop deeper connections with ourselves and others and create empathy and more understanding and develop more stronger bonds with others. And by doing this, expressing our thoughts and feelings can aid in problem solving, as it allows for the exploration of different perspectives and, collaborative solutions from all the different aspects of our own personality or from other people we turn to mentor us, to guide us, or just to talk to, On the symbolic creative level, It wants us to tap into our artistic, creative talent, whether it's through writing, painting, music, or any other creative project that brings joy and fulfillment. Creative outlets not only offer a means of personal happiness, but also serve as a form of self-discovery and catharsis. It provides us with an avenue to communicate our innermost thoughts and emotions and perspectives to the world around us, and it can just create a sense of connection and understanding. Engaging in creative projects at this time can serve as a form of personal growth and development, and it encourages us to step outside of our comfort zones and embrace being vulnerable and cultivate our unique artistic voice, whether it's through visual arts, performance arts, or any other creative. The symbolic creative energy of the sun in Gemini ignites a spark within us to embrace our creative side and express ourselves more authentically. So on the emotional level, it serves as a reminder to embrace the fluid nature of our emotions and allow ourselves to adapt to new circumstances and experiences. So it's a time to break free from rigid, inflexible routines, our comfort zone, and embrace the unpredictable, the unknown, and the ever-changing nature of life. By opening ourselves up to new experiences and embracing variety, we can develop a sense of excitement and adventure in our emotional lives. And this can involve trying new hobbies, exploring different social circles, or even challenging our own beliefs and perspectives. And by embracing change and variety, we not only allow ourselves to expand our emotional horizons, but also this promotes our personal growth, resilience, and a deeper understanding of ourselves and others. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the positive, negatives, and the best use of the sun in Gemini's energy. So, it's great for networking, as I said, increasing our communication skills, looking at ways we can refine the way we communicate with others and with ourselves through our self-talk, It allows us to be more versatile and handle multiple tasks with more ease and be flexible and adaptable, but don't take on too much as well. Within that, even though we can be versatile, we can overdo it. It allows us to learn new things by allowing us to be more curious and have a thirst for knowledge, and it helps us with learning things more quickly. Negatively, it can lead to scattered focus and inconsistency, making it challenging for us to stay focused on any one task for extended periods. So we may feel like, I want to do everything, but we can find it hard to focus on that one thing. It can also make us superficial and gossip, and this can cause trouble, especially if we gossip in the workplace or in other settings where it can have serious consequences. It's not nice to gossip anyway, or you can become centre of gossip, and it can be horrible, for you at this time and others. So just try and forgive, watch out for red flags with people being shallow and you being shallow in the way you go about things, which can backfire in terms of people, I don't want to say doing sneaky things. You and others we can be more prone to sneaky banter or flirty and saying things that we don't mean. So, it's best to just fact check any information, keep an open mind and build your resilience, because as life goes on, we realise that, words can hurt us, and the only reason why they can hurt us is because we don't make ourselves resilient. The number one thing, people use words to hurt us, and they normally, hit the things that are our unique self-expression. So this makes us think that, we can't be ourselves, and this is why we all conform to living up to other people's expectations. So to make the best use of this energy, look into the different sides of your personality and start or continue the work of healing, any issues you have with putting yourself out there, because, the sun is our ego. It's our projection of ourselves, it's our willpower. So, looking at the ways that you are stopping yourself. Of course, we need to respect other people's boundaries, but we also need to be ourselves as well. So it's good for public speaking, writing, socialising. We should embrace our opportunities to expand our knowledge base and be flexible, but just be mindful of taking on too much and distractions, and maintain a balance between seeking depth and breath in your expressions, and just chilling out a bit as well, because you don't want to be too full on as well. So the key lies in using their heightened communication abilities and intellectual curiosity positively, while being aware of the challenges that can come by the scattered energy that Gemini brings, and the superficialness of it all. So now I'm going to talk about the aspects that the sun's making when it goes into Gemini this year, and how they influence the sun in Gemini. So the sun makes a conjunction with Mercury, so this helps us with our self-expression and being an individual, and it can make us more convincing and articulate in expressing ourselves and gaining mental clarity and making decisions. And the sun's conjunction to Venus brings clarity and harmony and the desire for connection and beauty, and it just promotes us being more pleasant and sociable in our behaviour. So it just helps us bring more harmony into our relationships. The sun square to Saturn can bring feelings of restriction and responsibility and limitations, and create a sense of self-doubt, and gets in the way of our expression and personal goals and ambitions. It can also provide a valuable opportunity for self-discipline and perseverance, leading to personal growth and accomplishment. The sun semi-sextile to Uranus brings a subtle and harmonious connection between our self-expression and our desire for freedom and being unique and being original. It supports us with being innovative in our thinking, even though it's a semi-sextile sort of energy. It can support us in being open to change and excited about it, and overcoming the challenges that can come up right now as we go for growth in our relationships and our personal expression. The sun also makes a square to Neptune, so this can bring a sense of uncertainty and confusion, as it can bring challenges in us telling the difference between reality and illusion and fantasy, and this can lead to deception and us just being fed up. We just feel like I always get manipulated, and we may want to be lied and treated, because Neptune energy can always make us on the negative end run into our delusions of indulging toxic substances, relationships and things, so we just need to watch out for the ways that we trick ourselves. In what ways do you lie to yourself? Because we all lie to ourselves on different levels, and I know it can be hard to face our home truths and reality, but this aspect brings and supports spiritual growth when the sun's in Gemini for just over a month, and it can just really help us develop our inner stability, intuition and understanding, awareness and love and forgiveness. The sun also makes a biquintile to Pluto, so again this enhances our personal power, intensity and the ability to make positive changes. And even though it's a biquintile, biquintiles, quintiles, semi-sextiles, all these sort of energies are more internal influences, or we can tap into that possibility of it to make positive changes in our lives. It supports us with our self-reflection and discovering hidden talents or resources that we didn't know we had, or we forgot to, we've pushed to one side sort of thing. Also, the sun makes a quintile to the moon's north node, so this helps us with aligning with our life purpose and our spiritual path, and once again supports us in uncovering hidden talents that can be used for personal and collective growth. It calls upon us to embrace our authentic self and follow our true calling, so we can bring more happiness into our lives. And who knows, you may have destiny to do something to help a number of people, so you can just feel like, this is my time to get myself right, so I can live my best life and do the things that I really want to do with my career and passion projects and stuff like that. So the sun's quintile to the moon's north node, although subtle energy, can bring fortunate opportunities and synchronicities that align with your life direction. So some of you may just bump into someone on a walk or online, it can really help you with a project or something you really feel stuck on at the moment. And also at the time of the sun in Gemini, there's a stellium. A stellium in astrology refers to a powerful cluster of planets that are closely grouped together in the same sign, house or degree orb. So if a planet's in the 29th degree of Gemini, and then we've got one planet in the 7th degree of Cancer, because those planets, let's say Venus in the 29th degree of Gemini and Saturn in the 7th degree of Cancer, they can still be in a stellium because they are within a degree orb range, and that's how stellium can happen when one planet's in one sign and another's in another sign. That's because they're still within that 10 degree conjunction range that we need for stellium. So stellium can have positive and negative implications, like all things in life and astrology. So positively, a stellium increases the traits associated with the planets involved, the degree orbs involved, or the house involved, creating a strong focus on those specific areas of our lives. It can signify intense determination, creativity, and give a deep sense of purpose in pursuing our goals, going after what we want. Negatively, it can bring challenges, a lot of challenges. It can amplify the negatives of all the planets, houses, or degree orbs involved, leading to an overwhelming amount of energy in these areas, and this can cause stress because of the imbalance of, too much of one energy surging on you, and so we may feel more pressure to live up to high expectations, or struggle with integrating the different energies represented by the planets within a transiting stellium. So the stellium involving the Sun, Mercury and Venus in Gemini can amplify us overthinking, being superficial, and we can find it difficult to make decisions right now due to the abundance of ideas and experience that can come our way. We can just feel overwhelmed by everything right now. So although we find ourselves energized by new ideas, stimulating conversations and seeking out more social interaction than normal, there is a risk of mental overload and scattered focus, and we just need to really watch for that, because the stellium and the T-square I'm about to talk about amplifies all of this, and other aspects I've already talked about, triples this. So, we just need to be aware of all these things that I'm noting right now. Now I'm going to talk about what a T-square is in astrology and the positives and negatives of a transiting T-square. So a T-square in astrology is when 3 or more planets, normally some people count points. I will only count a point such as the moon's north node if it was conjunct a planet like Venus at the same degree, something like that in a T-square. I wouldn't necessarily include it on its own. So a T-square is when 3 or more planets form a right-angled triangle in the transit chart, and this configuration involves 2 planets being involved each other, creating tension, and a third planet squares both of the opposing planets, and this is why it's called like a T-square, because it looks like a T. And the positives of a transiting T-square include increased motivation for growth and change, opportunities for self-awareness and transformation, and the potential for breakthroughs in difficult situations. It can act as a catalyst for personal development and push us outside of our comfort zones. Negatively, we can struggle with decision making due to the conflicting energies. We can experience a heightened emotional intensity, leading to stress or anxiety and challenges in communication and our relationships. And it can also bring internal conflict to some of us as well, because of the external obstacles that come, or the internal thoughts of unresolved psychological, emotional and spiritual trauma that can come up, and dealing with these issues internally or externally that come up can require patience and resilience to overcome. So the T-square that happens when the Sun is in Gemini, involving Neptune in Pisces, Venus in Gemini, and the Moon in Virgo, and it's within a 25% orb. So we can expect an increased focus on illusions versus reality. So again, it's important to be grounded because we can fall into fantasy. There can be a communication issue surrounding emotions and practicality, and we need to balance sensitivity with logic. It can bring confusion, especially regarding personal relationships and creative projects. The influence of Neptune in Pisces it just allows us to be more dreamy and idealistic. And Venus in Gemini, emphasizes the need for clearer and open communication. The Moon in Virgo wants us to pay attention and supports us in being practical. But it still can bring a struggle between fantasy and reality, because the Moon in Virgo is bringing the reality, and Neptune in Pisces is bringing us the fantasy, and Gemini is just kind of like in between us, the Sun, like, hey, what you guys doing? Let's work it out. So we can feel more mentally frustrated right now, so we have to seek clarity amongst the confusion and adapt quickly to changing circumstances, and just allow ourselves to build our self-confidence without being egotistical, allowing ourselves to go within ourselves and to think and reevaluate our beliefs and values. It's a time when being flexible can be crucial right now, especially because of the complexities this energy can bring about. And by embracing the energies of Neptune in Pisces, Venus in Gemini and the Moon in Virgo, this can bring about a deeper understanding of how we can blend imagination with being practical, and being emotional with being reasonable and logical, and using our intuition with our intellect, which I do anyway. I think of ways to be more efficient, but this is just another idea what's come up and it makes sense. So now I'm going to talk about what a grand trine is in astrology, the positives and negatives of a transiting grand trine. So a grand trine in astrology is when 3 planets are in an equilateral triangle, and they're each approximately 122 degrees apart. And this configuration creates a harmonious flow of energy between the 3 planets involved, enchanting their respective qualities. So positively, it can increase our creativity and productivity, and it can bring more emotional balance and stability into our life, especially in challenging times. So it's a nice, easy energy to work with. It can bring increased intuition and insight, so we can gain deeper insights into our life path and decisions, and this can help us make more informed choices and just become more balanced and stable within as well. But negatively, we can lack motivation and complacency, because trine energy comes easy, it's harmonious, not challenging, and this can cause us to be passive and unmotivated in going after our goals. This is why a lot of individuals with a lot of trines in their chart, trine and harmonious aspects like set stars cannot use them, because everything can come so easily. They're not aware, and they can miss their opportunities, thinking they'll always come. There can also be an overemphasis on our comfort zone, and we can rely too heavily on what we know rather than newness, and this can make us be stagnant and miss opportunities. Now I'm going to talk about the specific grand trine that's happening when the Sun enters Gemini. So again, it supports us with having insights, being innovative in our thinking and going into our emotional depths. But again, it can just make us sort of like be complacent and lack motivation to push beyond our comfort zone and boundaries right now. And because we can just be like, I don't want to do anything new, we may just miss this opportunity to grow and evolve. So it's essential to strike a balance between thinking before we do things and just sleeping before we react and act in a way, but being grounded and weighing at the pros and cons while we do that as well. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the karma of the Sun transiting in Gemini. So, from a karmic perspectives, it wants us to express ourselves clearly and connect with others on a deeper, more authentic level. So the karmic lessons that come up right now can revolve around us being adaptable to change, embracing diversity in thought, and overcoming indecision by trusting in our inner wisdom. Also, past lives where effective communication or lack of it played a significant role in our soul's journey. So lifetimes where we spent as teachers, writers or diplomats who had the gifts of the gab to influence and inspire others may come to our mind, or where we may have used it to deceive others, start a cult, thief and rob, and that may come to our mind as well. It wants us to, again, balance being rational with allowing ourselves to be intuitive and deal with our emotions as well, and find a more harmonious way of sharing knowledge and ideas with ourselves and others as well. And wants us to understand the power of words in shaping our reality, and the power of our thoughts, because our thoughts, what we allow to sort of like go on and live in our mind, really does affect us. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about how the sun in Gemini affects our relationships in a bit more depth. So in terms of family relationships, it encourages us to be more open-minded and light-hearted in our communication with our families. It can lead to us enjoying more conversations and shared activities like games, eating meals and stuff, but it can also make us restless and scattered in our energy, and this can lead to misunderstandings and lack of emotional depth. In terms of our friendships, we can, have more stimulating conversations and try new things together and really thrive over connecting with our friends. But on the negative side, we can be overly chatty and superficial in our relationships, and this can cause misunderstandings and shallow connections. In terms of our co-worker relationships, it allows for working with others, brainstorming, effective communication, and it can be a productive time for exchanging ideas and working on projects with other people. But negatively, gossip again and miscommunication and scattered focus can get in the way of productivity and lead to conflicts between co-workers. In committed relationships, it allows us to be more playful and intellectual, stimulated in them, and just be more curious and try new things, maybe talk more while making love and stuff like that, and just exploring new interests together and engage in more meaningful conversations. But we can become restless and inconsistent, and this can affect our committed relationships as well. So we must make sure we clearly communicate our needs right now and do all we can to understand ourselves and others. In terms of hookup relationships, it can bring increased excitement and more flirty energy, and we can be more spontaneous and just want more fun, but we can lack emotional depth and commitment in these relationships, and one person or the other people involved may want more commitment, so communication is really key to avoid misunderstandings and mixed signals. So in terms of career development, it's ideal time for networking, learning new technologies and skills, and going after new ideas at work. But negatively, we just have to watch out for scattered focus and indecisiveness that can get in the way of long-term career planning and development. In terms of personal growth, we can be more open to new experiences, social interactions and mental stimulation, and we can just grow through engaging conversations with others. But we can be restless negatively, which can get in the way of our self-improvement efforts right now. In terms of spiritual development, we can explore different belief systems and engage in open-minded discussions, and sort of communicate with others on a spiritual level. But negatively, we can be skeptic and superficial in our efforts to go deep on the spiritual or deeper intellectual paths. In terms of educational development, it can help us be really good in our writing projects and communication projects right now, and debates and group discussions and stuff like that as well, and learning things from varied sources. But negatively, we can easily become distracted and struggle with focusing on a single subject, and we can lack depth in the understanding of complex topics. So it's good for us to balance curiosity with depth of knowledge, which is good for our academic success at this time. Okay, so now I'm just going to finish up with talking about the best things for creatives, professionals, and entrepreneurs, alternative healers, lovers and singles, and those who are self-partnered to do when the sun's in Gemini. So creatives can, collaborate with others to spark fresh ideas and just experiment with different mediums and techniques. Professionals should network and pitch new projects and engage in persuasive presentations, embracing being versatile and flexible in their approach to work, and this can lead to exciting opportunities. Entrepreneurs can use this energy to be more sociable and seek out intellectually stimulating activities and connect with clients or partners, attend industry events and network, launch innovative marketing campaigns that appeal to different audiences than you normally target. It's a good time to brainstorm and implement creative business strategies that set you apart in the market. Alternative healers can find that you're more open to new healing modalities or seeking unconventional treatments during this period. And it's a good opportunity to offer workshops and webinars and special promotions to broaden your audience and expand your client base. Lovers can enjoy stimulating conversations, playful banter and intellectual conversations with their partners, planning fun outings, sharing exciting experiences and engaging in activities that stimulate their mind, and this can deepen the bond between them. Singles can take advantage of this energy by attending networking events to meet new people, trying out online dating platforms to connect with like-minded individuals, but be careful out there, don't ignore those red flags now. It's a chance to explore diverse connections and embrace the versatility of dating experiences while remaining self-aware and centered in yourself. So self-partnered individuals can dive into a new book, podcast or online course to expand their knowledge, connect with friends, join virtual gatherings or attend networking events to expand their social circle and engage in stimulating conversations. Express yourself, take up writing, painting or any other form of creative expression that allows you to communicate your thoughts and ideas right now. Embrace being spontaneous and open to new things that, ignite you with curiosity, and stay active through walks, runs and yoga, tai chi, dancing, jumping, gaming, singing, screaming, whatever to keep yourself occupied and your body sort of energized. So yes, that's the end of this in-depth special on transiting sun in Gemini. Take care and see you next time.